The word vegan was actually created by Donald Watson in 1944 to describe someone who was living a life with a conduct based on an ethic. So that conduct was the responsible reaction to recognizing that animals are sentient individuals. They are conscious individuals. They suffer and they live life in much the way that we do. They experience sorrow, they experience pain, they experience fear, they experience joy, they experience guilt, they experience the full spectrum of human emotions because they're animals. And so it's not really human emotions, they're animal emotions. Animals experience life the way we do because we're all animals. So that's what we have in common. And so Donald Watson created this term because the one that really accurately described a recognition of animals as beings that we should respect and not treat as property was typically referred to as vegetarians. Vegetarians were once the go-to word for the ethic of caring about animals enough to move to a vegetarian or plant-based living foundation. So unfortunately, over time, vegetarian became a diet. Vegetarian became something that really had nothing to do with ethics anymore. And it often didn't include, it included those who called themselves vegetarian who were still consuming animal products like eggs and dairy and gelatin or things that were not so apparently flesh products. But they were still the result of animal exploitation. So the term vegan was created by Donald Watson to distinguish those who recognized that all forms of animal exploitation were in violation of our ethics towards respecting animals. So that's where the term originated. We have taken that and distilled it into yet another basic concept of consciousness. It's moving from looking at humans as being the center of our perspective, of the way in which we live in the world, and moving towards more of an ecocentric and looking at ourselves as in part of the world instead of to dominate the world. So it's recognizing that we aren't the center of the universe. So that's how VeganShift is different. That we're trying to move this message as something that doesn't allow us to be marginalized as simply an animal rights organization, but more as an empowerment organization for the changes that must occur if we are going to avoid driving ourselves off the cliff of extinction because of our arrogance and our hubris about our position in the world. We think we're at the top of the food chain and therefore able to dominate the world in any way we see fit, and what it's doing is causing extinction at irreversible rates at this point, and we really need to, if we want to survive on this planet, we have to change our behaviors.